My auntie said to my DJ, Kenneth wasn't speaking. We was trying to get him to say a word, and I was just quiet. But in my head, I was at war. In my head, I was at war.
Welcome to another episode of Mental Health Podcast. Today we're joined by the one and only Shocka, and we're going to go through his life story and basically what's brought him here today, and just the ups and downs of life how you doing?
Over to me. No, I'm good. I'm real good. I'm in a good space. Feels good to say that as well.
No, it is.
Considering everything that I've endured. But I'm in a good space. But it's like everything's happening so fast.
Yeah.
It always does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like that overnight turnaround.
Yep.
1 minute you're at home looking at the ceiling, begging God or whatever you believe in out there to help me get out of my situation. Then the next minute you're begging that same God for to give me a break, to slow down. So, but I'm not complaining. I'm completely grateful.
You know which one you'd rather?
Yes, I know what it felt like when I was just sitting there. Bro, this is ridiculous.
So your journey, if we could go back to where did your journey begin? Where did it all start?
I'll say it started from my group. Before I was solo like this by myself. I was in a group called Marvell. It says on the back of the book. Grime.
Is this your book?
Yeah. Oh yeah, who is that?
Who's that fine young man?
Who's that fine young man? Is he married? Yeah. I was in a collective called Marvell. There's 3 of us. Me, Double S and Vertex, 3 of us from Tottenham. And we just got together and we was like, let's just do this. But it was fun. Some of the best times of my life. I feel like what I'm doing now is still an amazing time, but it's more serious.
Yeah.
It's more like purpose.
You ain't got your mates around, have you?
Yeah, you ain't got your mates around, and they still come though. I had a screening at the BAFTA for the ITV documentary I did, and they came and it was all good.
They all should
but they come for those bit moments.
Oh,
but when I'm doing stuff like this, it's a lonely journey.
Yeah.
No one wanted to give you a
no one wants. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So
where you going to? I meant the health podcast, and I don't know about that.
Yeah,
it's all these little bits that build up that they don't see going on behind the scenes, isn't it? All these things you have to do to.
Yeah.
But as in your would you say you obviously with the mental health side of things?
Yeah.
What is your passion? Why are you so passionate about the mental health and helping people? And what is it that drives you to?
I think it's because I saw something on TikTok. I don't know what I was watching, but he said everyone that's helped someone with something has tasted from that experience they're helping them from, and it's so true. Because I've experienced being sectioned, and I've experienced having a breakdown, and I've experienced the lowest of the lows mentally.
Yeah.
I can't turn a blind eye now.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a DM or someone saying how they're feeling, I can't ignore it. Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've experienced, I know what they're feeling.
You've got an obligation.
I've got an obligation. I know what they're feeling. Whereas it's like someone the other day asked me to promote it was another. You know how there's sickle cell and there's other ones. Even though I haven't experienced that, I still promoted it for them because now I understand. I'm not because that's how I was in mental health. Once upon a time, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now I look at that word and I'm like, oh, it's probably just as real as what I'm going through, but I just don't know about it.
Yeah. But before you suffered the mental health, did you
I was so ignorant to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I had people in my area that was talking to themselves.
Yeah.
I had there's this guy called Batman. I mentioned it in another documentary I did. We used to call him Batman because he used to just talk to punch, because he used to be a boxer. Okay. He was a proper big boxer, but his wife left him, then his mental health deteriorated.
Yeah.
Then she divorced him and he lost it, and he used to be just roaming around the area. And we used to make fun of him. Yeah, but I was just so ignorant to mental health. And then,
a lot of people don't think it even exists even now. They think it's all made up. It's a load of...
I think even when I went through it, I was still quite ignorant to it. I was like, no, it's not really affecting me. I've just gone crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't go, I've got mental health.
Yeah.
So I think when you come out the other side, it's more that you go, I know how shit this can be.
And there wasn't even the language to articulate it.
No.
When I got sectioned back in 2012, I wish there was this podcast or I could have learned from some. I was itching for information or some sort of clarity because I got no brothers and sisters. No, I mean, usually you have
turn to.
no one to turn to. Usually it's your older brother that like gives you all the game and says, "This is what's going on. This is how you talk to girls. This is what you should look out for. These are the trainers you wear." I never had any of that, so like I was kind of fathered by my environment, like the streets or my friends.
So growing up, was you like your upbringing and like growing up, was that? Do you think that played a big part of the getting sectioned?
Yeah, definitely. Not my upbringing in terms of like how I was in my area, but my upbringing at home.
Right. Okay.
Because I was raised by my mum, and my dad went in my life.
Right. Okay.
And I'm my only child, so I was like my mum's like pride and joy.
Yeah. Cool.
So she really,
boy,
so she really like sheltered me from
so
so many experiences, and that's not good.
No.
I thought it was good because I thought I was like
you were safe.
Yeah, like
but actually you're not.
You're not. Oh, I thought like when I get the plates dirty, and my mum was like, "No, just leave it." And I thought, okay, why not?
See, I'm luckily this is it. So at the moment we're having that with my wife. At the moment, I'm telling my son, you know, you got to do these old things.
No, he
yourself.
has to.
You got to experience everything yourself.
He's got to,
and don't shelter him from stuff.
He's got to.
If there's something going on, even on the street, it's like don't shelter him from it because he needs to grow not immune to it, but he needs to be able to cope with.
Yeah,
things.
no, he's got to.
Because I tell you what. The other week we come back from London, we come off the train, and there was a fight going on in the car park across the street from where my mum had parked the car.
Yeah.
And he basically that's now playing on his mind because he see this happen.
Yeah.
Because he's so sheltered from everything.
Yeah, he didn't know that even existed.
He'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
And yesterday when we went up, so to actually Billy Ricky up, and we had to park in a similar car park. He got all agitated. He didn't want to park in the car park. He wanted to park close to the restaurant because even in his mind. But I said, no, Harrison, you need to. Life is not. Like
peaches and roses.
Yeah, you need to see everything in life. I'm like, you know,
life's a bastard. It really is.
So going back to what you're saying is that you was your only child.
Yes,
you brought up your mum, no father figure in there.
Yeah, which was cool in growing up.
When you were in it,
when you're in it, it's like, oh yeah, you can do the dishes. Oh, you want to do my washing? Yeah. You want to? Do you know what I mean? And then you're having. And I had my house was like the popular house for like game consoles. I had GameCube. Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
I had all of them.
Back.
So all my
showing your age now.
So all my friends used to come to my house. Let's go to Kenneth's house. Let's go to Shocka's house. Yeah. He's got all the games. His house is so sick. His mum makes us food. You know what I mean?
Everything.
Whereas I never had that. But then when we grew up, I saw the difference. Because then when I faced my first like getting dropped from the record label, which started off my depression.
A big kick in the
teeth. It wasn't because my other two band members never spiraled the way I spiraled. No. You know what I mean? But I took it completely different.
Everyone affects everyone differently. Yeah.
That's true. That is a great point. But my one was 10 times worse because like I had never faced no adversity, period. I was living in a fairy tale. Yeah. And that was like one of my main issues when I got sectioned anyway was like, how can this happen to me? I'm the golden child. I'm the one.
Mummy always looks
after. Did that send you spiraling in?
Yeah,
that's what he was.
Yeah, that was like the catalyst. That was like the catalyst of everything.
That's the part I've got to in your book.
Yeah.
So I got to that part.
Yeah, that was like the catalyst being losing the record deal. And I learned that's a lot of artists' story.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people's story. I met Beverly Knight's husband recently.
Okay.
I was doing a talk and he was just there at the front like this little cute dog. And he came up to me after and said, I love your story. My wife went through the same thing. I was like, who's your wife? And he showed me a picture of his screensaver and it was him and Beverly Knight on their wedding day. And I was like, oh, where's she been? Because she kind of went quiet for a bit. But she's doing theatres now. Yeah. He was like, yeah, she went through similar things. And I was like, that is a common story. But not a lot of artists expressed it. But I wish someone had said like, you know, record labels are not your friends. Or like
record labels are a bit like HR in a business. They're out to look after themselves. They're not out to look after you. You're the benefit to them if you do well, or if they think you're doing well. And that's the thing. Like I think, if you're susceptible, you'll never kind of been in that place where you had any sort of hardship or rejection.
Exactly.
I think the rejection, especially.
Exactly.
I'm guessing. I'm not. Tell me if it's not true, but if your mum's shown you so much love, you're like, oh, I'm not. She's never going to reject me. So then I think when a rejection does come, you're like, what's this?
Because you go out into the world with that identity of like
everyone's going to love me.
Everyone's going to love me, and then when you get the first pushback or the first rejection, you don't even know how to take it or where to start. It's such a shock. No pun intended.
But like, see what you did there?
It's such a shock, but it's funny how everything's come full circle because the people that signed me with the group, we're like on the best terms now. I just did an event for them. They called me to come and do something.
They come calling back.
So like, but everything's come full circle. So it all worked out. And I got to ask them like, what happened? Because when we got dropped from the record label, I thought they just
asking your ex, like, what'd you done?
Yeah, like, well, yeah, why? What happened there? Yeah. And he was like, we never had no more money. That's why we didn't do the next song. And I was like, oh, because the way it looked like
it wasn't successful.
It was exactly, and it's just the way everything went cold afterwards. Because I remember being at their house Christmas in the garden kicking football with the whole family, and the next minute we can't get no calls returned, and like, you know how it goes.
You saying that about going full circle? I don't know. There's a quote, a little story that Denzel Washington speaks about, and he says that when he first started out his journey, he went for an audition at this theatre house, and he'd never been rejected before, and he didn't get the part, and he walked away, and he was so down, he was distraught, and he thought his life had finished, and then he said, like 25 years later, after he'd made it, he was back at that same theatre house. He'd done a presentation in front of like
sold out
125,000 people at the same spot where he got rejected. He was the man in charge.
I love that.
He was like, I love, he's a motivational guy. He's so inspirational. But so it just shows, like you say, things do go.
Yeah, I love those full circle moments.
Full circle.
I think as well, like I saw Ed Sheeran say something, and he said, no one learns from their achievements. They always learn from their failures.
It's true.
And well, this is kind of
this is it. This is all my
point, isn't it?
This has got like, this ain't even just my music failures that's in here. Obviously, you haven't read the whole book, but this has got like
no spoilers, please.
This has got like my failures as like just a human being. Period. Just like the stage, because I talk about.
This is putting yourself out there, isn't it? This is
like,
every weakness.
When I did the book launch and people were like buying the book and putting it in their bag, I felt like they was taking a piece of me with them. I was like, what you're going home to read tonight is me. Like, next time you see me and you're just staring at me, I don't know what they read.
At some points, they're reading stuff about you that you never felt like the guts to tell people.
Yeah, exactly. Some things I've only said in the book. I haven't even said out loud.
Sometimes it's easier to put it on paper than to say it out loud, sort of thing. So
definitely.
Let's see. How long was you sectioned for?
I was sectioned for. I've been sectioned 4 times. The last time was last year when my mother passed away, and before that I was like 6 years. Cool. But let me go back. I got sectioned for the first time in 2012, then 2014, then 2016. Then 2022 last year.
And do you sort of feel it coming on? Do you sort of like,
I do now. I do. I've been sectioned enough times to kind of know.
I've been there, done that.
I can see when I'm spiraling, which is good.
Yeah.
Because like I couldn't identify it before, and they normally say you can only identify it after your first breakdown. Then you can look back and be like, okay, this, and this.
Points.
Those are the trigger points. But before that, you got to be really good to be able to see your trigger points before your first actual breakdown. You can't
before
really
notice it.
So now I can see it, I can feel it, I know how my body changes, I know how my thoughts start racing, I know that panic attack feeling I get, I know that it's time to retreat now and whatever I'm doing.
So I'm guessing you've got like a support network.
Yeah,
you've got
definitely.
people you can go to go, look, I'm struggling, this is only going to go badly for those.
Yeah, definitely. I got a great support network. I've even got you guys. I've got extended support networks outside my family, which didn't exist before.
Yeah.
But there's like tons of, even if I can't talk to my family, I can just DM you guys.
Yeah.
And be like, this is a bit of a random one, but do you know what I mean?
We've been following each other years.
Yeah.
Like, it had been 4 or 5 months. Yeah. Like, it's been ages, and I'm like, we've got to do something, something. And I was like, your book's coming out, we've got a podcast.
Yeah.
This is perfect time.
Yeah.
See, all comes back around.
Yeah. That's it. So I've got like extended family, so like, it's amazing.
No, so it's great. At least you've identified the points now.
Yeah, definitely.
So after the sectioning, obviously, what else would you say, like, where else would you say you can, like, you help the community and stuff like that? Do you get a lot of people that come to you and say, do you get them DMs now? And
my DMs are emotional and beautiful at the same time. It's emotional what they're telling me about, but it's beautiful that I've affected them in a way that they can come to me. Do you know what I mean? And these are some people that's never spoken ever. Someone told me the other day that his mum's got bipolar, and like they've hid it since they've been young. So the kids are always saying, how come we never come to your house? We've never seen your mum. And he's never got to speak about it. But he said, because of me, he's finally starting to say like, oh, this is what my mum's got. Yeah. And I can imagine holding that burden for like so long, wanting to tell your friends or wanting to talk to someone. And a lot of messages I've been getting is they don't have the mental health issue, but it's their friends and family, so their brother or their sister,
and they don't know how to deal.
And they don't know how to deal with it, and they've never known, and they've just like, hid that side. So now I feel like I'm like the mouthpiece for like.
I think it's a lot of people need the support as much.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I'll speak from my experiences of like my mental health and like my drug addiction.
Yeah.
Like my parents and my auntie, and even like Sophie as well, like my missus, they went through, like I put them through hell.
Yeah.
And I think I put them through worse than I was going through myself.
Yeah.
And they didn't get the support.
Yeah.
And I think to be honest, that the support network need as much support.
Yeah. The support network needs support. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
You said, I heard you say, you just said that last year when you were sectioned again, you lost your mum.
Yeah.
Which is, sorry to hear that. I mean, losing a parent is one of the hardest things ever. I lost my dad when I was 11.
Yeah. And
then my mum remarried, and I lost my stepdad last year. He was my dad longer than my dad. Like, my mum was married for over 20 odd years, and I lost him last year, and then obviously I lost my brother the year before that, and then as well.
Yeah.
So dealing with a loss is.
And that was my first funeral.
Well,
that I went first funeral.
It's so hard to lose someone because then you can think you're, like you just said, you was great 6 years straight before that, and then all of a sudden one thing. I mean, it's a massive.
That was a massive thing, man.
Massive thing.
It's not a little blip.
That's what I'm saying. But one.
That's something you can't prepare for. So I had all the angles covered.
That's what I'm saying. You can't prepare for that.
You even sit there. I do it. Like it sounds really sadistic, but I do. I sit there and I go, "What am I going to feel like?"
Yeah, I've done that.
I even did it like my dog. Like we had to put my dog down like in June, and I was like, she stopped me from committing suicide.
Yeah,
like, she was that much of a bond with her.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What am I going to do?" Like we filmed a podcast 2 days before we had to put her down.
Yeah.
And no, it was a day before. It was literally the afternoon before, and I was like, "What am I going to do? How am I going to cope? How am I going to cope?" And you run through all these little things in your mind, and then it happens, and you just go,
that wasn't. All goes out the window.
Yeah, that wasn't on the checklist.
And
it really does.
It's true. It's true. Like, I thought I had all angles covered, but like, because I always say to myself, I was like, all right, cool. If I can go back to last year, I can go back to because my mum had cancer.
Yeah,
so I watched the whole. You know how
it's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst thing ever. I mean,
you can see it happening.
Yes.
Both my parents was exactly the same.
Yeah,
it sounds sadistic, but you'd rather it just suddenly than you can see them deteriorate. They
go through hell, don't they?
You can physically see yourself losing someone.
I don't know about the suddenly. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think the suddenly, I wouldn't be here if it was suddenly.
Yeah.
Because it would have just caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Like, just getting a phone call. Me just being here chilling, getting a phone call saying, finish me.
Yeah.
So the kind of...
It prepares you as well,
That was the only part that I was like, okay, they're prepared, because I kind of knew. So ahead, I'm already knowing that, okay, in 6 months... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only part I couldn't deal with is the deteriation part.
Yeah, that's hard.
That part, if you can skip, that part is the worst part.
Yeah, like, my wife's mum, she's going through cancer at the moment, and it's just seeing from when me and my wife first got together, and to see like my mother-in-law now, like it's just an awful thing to see, but definitely. At the same time you can kind of at least end points.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a weird.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's the way it breaks the person down. Like my stepdad, for instance, was 8 months ago.
Yeah,
and he's 6'8", big guy. He was like 23, 24 stone, big guy, and it just literally brings him down to can't walk, couldn't move, literally just totally, couldn't go do nothing for yourself anymore, and it's not nice for them because for me, such a proud person, seeing having to go through all that stuff.
Exactly.
That gets in your head as well. Seeing them do that, that's enough. That just turns your head. So if anyone's been through that, I mean, it's tough.
And they gave my mum the wrong medication during the end. So she started like hallucinating and stuff. And that was difficult to see.
And
we didn't find out until we knew something. It was like, my mum's she's so not that, but So when she was talking, just saying stuff, like, just whatever. I don't know what made my auntie check, but she checked and they gave her, I forgot what the medicine was, but I think it's, if someone's getting close to death,
Yeah.
It's a medication that helps, or something like that.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, or some shit like that. But
they give it to my dad as well.
And it triggered something, and like, so that was
too much of it, you can loosen it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I remember when she was in hospital, and we were asking about her. They're like, "Oh, are you talking about the woman that says there's someone standing by her bed?" Or like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. And like,
that's the thing.
It was hard to hear because like my mum's just not that person.
That's the thing. If you're used to someone being quite switched on,
exactly,
knows everything that's going on.
Exactly.
And the thing as well, like especially with a single mum as well.
Yeah,
she's in charge of everything. She knows what's happening.
Yeah.
She knows what you're doing before you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, she must have played both parts of your life, like
she
mum
did.
and dad. So
she did. Yeah.
So when you get to that, and then you see the complete opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Like away with the fairies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So just on the back of the book there, what's this you was diagnosed with? I can't even read that.
Paranoid schizophrenia.
Oh, okay. So that's what they.
So first I got diagnosed with manic depression.
Yeah.
Then it evolved into paranoid schizophrenia. And like I'm still trying to. That's what the ITV documentary is about. It's me going on the journey, learning more about diagnosis.
Did you kind of, because if you say schizophrenia and schizophrenic, we all think of like the Hollywood films, like the horror films.
That's the only way it's been depicted.
Yeah, it's been depicted as this crazy person that goes on mass murder sprees with axes or stuff.
Yeah.
How did you, like, when you were told, when a doctor sat there and went, "This is your diagnosis," what was your, like, "Oh no, I've now got to go to Hollywood and be a horror film star because I've got schizophrenia"?
Do you know what? It wasn't hard to believe because I knew how I was behaving when I had my breakdown. The only reason why it's difficult for people to believe is because they see me like this. So they're thinking, they don't correlate, parallel. But my aunties and people that are close to immediate circle that see me when I was like hallucinating or having that breakdown, they will understand like, okay, that diagnosis kind of makes sense of what happened. But to, you know, maybe you guys are like my supporters that see me like this, it's like, no, yeah, like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I like that because that counterattacks the stigma that people that is diagnosed with schizophrenia is only one way. It's violent or like that. I mean, I've met other schizophrenia patients that's like only when they're having their episode that you see the schizophrenia. Do you know what I mean?
And it's not always just violent outbursts.
Yeah.
Just like
some is that mine's the opposite. Mine's like I get really quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking. Like my auntie said to my DJ, Kenneth wasn't speaking. We was trying to get him to say a word, and I was just quiet. But in my head, I was at war. In my head, I was at war. But like, I thought you guys could hear it, but you can't. But like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've had that before, where like
it's a bit
you're
like,
not talking, but like in here,
yeah.
I mean, like sleep paralysis.
Yes.
When you feel like like you can't talk.
Yeah.
That's a weird.
Yeah, that is
sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
If you ever suffered of it, I feel so sorry for you. When you're laying there and there's a dark figure in the corner of the room that's coming to get you and you can't move. And when you're literally, I was on my side and Sophie was there. And I saw this figure coming and grabbing her, and I was I thought, I was like, but nothing was coming out. And it is. I woke up and I was soaking wet in sweat. It was awful.
Yeah, I had one with my mum just like right next to me, and I was shouting,
and nothing comes out.
And then when I woke up, I tell you like, "What are you talking about?" So it's like you're awake before you're awake. It's nuts. It's one of the most scariest things. Seriously.
So, if you have one, good luck.
Let
us know.
Obviously, we need people to buy the book. I don't want to go too much into the book, but obviously I'm going to post this in the, we get description and everything. But I just heard you say about ITV.
Yes, and ITV. Well, the book. Let's start here. The book's called this book right here. This fella here. What's his name? Kenneth. Oh no, nice Nigerian name. I think that is.
Yeah.
Shocka. Section of my life. It started off with. Last year, the idea was birthed when I was sectioned. I wrote so many poems in hospital, and I was like, okay, because Tupac had a book called The Rose That Grew from the Concrete, and it had all these poems in prison and whatever he did. And I was like, I want to do that. I love like my. Do you know what I mean?
I want to be Tupac.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, man. Later on, I want him to say, that's what he was thinking when he was in hospital. So I wrote all these poems, and then came out, got the book deal, and the publishers was like, if people read these poems of just you talking about being sectioned, they're going to want to know more. Yeah. Why is every poem about what happened? How did he get there? What, do you know what I mean? What's the story? So they said, tell your story and put the poems at each chapter of the story. Yeah. And it's beautiful how it turned out because the poems fit each chapter. I didn't write it that way. I just wrote random poems.
Yeah, Yeah, without bigging you up a bit, that it does fit perfectly. At the end of the chapter, like I said to you before, like I like the fact that it's got those poems, but you've got at the end of each chapter some form of like mindfulness,
questions,
or like questions. It feels like you're being quizzed. Like, you're having to like remember what you've just read.
Like test it every chapter.
Yeah,
but it's good because I think like when you're asking like what do you feel bad for?
Yes.
Like, what do you like? What are you proud of? And stuff like that. I think sometimes no one gets asked that question.
Yes, exactly.
Because like people, I think most people, you get people that do like to brag and show off, but most people, if you were asked like, what are you proud of, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be a list. And it's a big thinking test.
Exactly.
You go, actually, then what do you define by proud? Like,
exactly.
You could go, well, I managed to get a job. But, but then people go, have you got 3 kids? Like, so like, then you can go, oh, I'm proud of being a dad. But yeah, I think at the end of each chapter, it's nice to have something like that.
That's the section of your life bit. So I want it to be a section of my life, and then the poems and the questions a section of your life. Right. So it gives you a chance to like think about, because people never do. And that's what helped me, the introspective side. I had so much idle time that I made good use of though. Some people have idle time and they just squat here and I don't know what they're doing, but watching
that's
Netflix.
What an Xbox is.
Exactly. But I made good use. Those were the questions I was asking myself. All those questions are the questions that like purpose. There's a chapter about purpose and I'm asking myself, what's my purpose? I think I got one. You know, all these questions are like, that's what helped me. So hopefully it does the same for someone else.
Yeah, like for me, like I'm because I've got ADHD.
Yeah.
I don't read. Well, I do, but I skim read.
Yes.
And I can take in the whole book.
Yeah.
I'll pick out like a D from one word and then an A from another, but I know the whole sentence.
Yeah.
But this, I think because it's about mental health and it's about your journey, I've actually found myself, literally the book came through and I went, I'll be 20 minutes. I was sitting there like that. I was reading and reading and reading. And
someone was saying how the way it's written is
spaced out.
Yeah, it's spaced out. So it's like, you know the little writing, that makes it even more draining.
So you can have a thicker book, so you can have more pages.
I didn't want a big, we called it a fuck off book. I wanted a big fuck off book. I wanted a book. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to feel proud of it. I don't look back 10 years and be like, what was this? I wanted to feel like I wrote something. Like, this feels like an actual, like,
not just a leaflet.
I want to look at it and be like, oh God, I got to get through all of this.
Double-sided, though.
Yeah.
Just an A4 bit of paper, that's it.
And yeah, the ITV documentary is called Black Boys Can Cry. A woman called Jessica, she's a director. She got a job at ITV. Then she called me and said, I want to do my first documentary on you. And then here we are. It comes out next Sunday, October the 8th, 10:45. And it's a beautiful piece.
On that, is that like, in the black culture, is that more of a taboo? Like mental health, talking about it?
100%.
But we know a lot of things are 100%. More taboo.
Of course it is. I fought with my family to like do what I'm doing now. I used to have like interviews and tell them I'm just going to the park. Do you know what I mean? Because I couldn't say like I'm going to do this interview because they're like, oh, why are you gonna go there and tell them your business? That's what they call it. Tell them your business and no one needs to know this. Just keep it to yourself. Keep it. Even my mum, like I love like when she just came, because she went to Nigeria and she came back and obviously she was real slim and she weren't looking good and was like, you need to get an ambulance to go to the hospital and just check yourself out. And she was like, I don't want the ambulance to come and pick me up in front of the building for everyone to see. And I was like, what are you talking about?
So proud.
Yeah. She's like, I can't let people see me going into the ambulance. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with, my friends.
What you just said there was, it's no one wants to know your business. Keep it to yourself. That's how you get in this situation.
Yeah,
like keeping it locked up. Up, that you can't feel like you can't speak.
She was in. This is life and death situation we're talking about,
and she's still rather get choked.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is what we're dealing with. This is how far we're willing to go. So, and then the whole stigma around crying, like black men are looked as like aggressive and. Yeah. Looked at like they don't even have emotional feelings, so it's good to see the documentary and see that side and like it's powerful.
That should be. So when's that? You say it's October
the 8th, next Sunday. No. It's out now actually on ITVX. but I want people to see it on TV.
Yeah,
You know,
taking the selfies and putting it on the stories. Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's cool.
yeah.
No, that sounds like it. So is it different from the book, the documentary, or is it similar?
It goes along. You'll understand if you've read the book. You'll understand what's going on in the documentary.
So
I got two screenings out at the moment. I got another one, which I like how they balance each other out. The ITV screening is with other black men, but I'm just a reoccurring person that it comes back to in the documentary. Then I've got another documentary that's out. That's just me.
Okay.
And that screening is on the 10th of October.
That's World Mental Health Day.
Yeah, World Mental Health Day, and that's sold out. 250 people in the cinema.
And where's that? Everyman, is it?
That's Everyman. Yeah, that's Everyman.
In London.
In London. So they're gonna get two perspectives.
Sweet.
That's what I was worried about when I got the call to do both documentaries. I was thinking I don't want the story just to be like track on, but they made it different. Both of them's got different things. Like the ITV documentary, I sit down with like a psychiatrist, which is different to the other one because I don't have stuff like that in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just amazing.
Is that something you're still constantly doing with like psychiatry and therapy?
Not really, but they offered it, and I thought, why not? I'm ready to do that now. The only reason why I never did that all these years is because I wasn't ready to do it. The concept didn't make sense to me. I was like, I'm not gonna. Yeah. I still was under the stigma of like going to sit down with someone and like.
I don't want to tell someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even want my problem.
Yeah. And plus, I got music. Music has served as like a therapist for me for all these years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you about your music. So, is that still something you, as well as all your book, your documentaries, is still progressing with your music?
Yeah, it's definitely. I just finished the album. called Vulnerability is a New Cool. It's like it's a mental health album.
Me and my missus found a good song, Self Love.
Yes.
Of yours. Oh my god! Like, it's kind of very like Afrobeat.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's one that's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
And the thing is now, because I like it.
Yeah.
Because of my ADHD, that's gonna get paid now 400 times in 2 days.
Thank you. Just Spotify, please.
Yeah. I'll play it smaller
or Apple.
You said it to me.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Put on repeat. Leave it on and I'll go out.
Stick in your playlist, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that song changed my life. That song was the first song I got signed for. After all the whole Marvell situation, getting dropped on the label, signed by myself as a solo artist, and that gave me so much confidence because, like, for some reason in my head, because we got signed and we never broke past that barrier, I always had like a limitation in my head that I couldn't get a record deal or like.
You said in your book the other two guys they had something to fall back.
Yeah, exactly.
And you didn't.
And I've never done nothing like that,
Yeah.
so it was new. For everything I'm doing now, I feel like I'm in a dream because it's all new for me.
Yeah.
Like my other member, Double S, was like a star before he even got into the group. Everyone knew him in the area. He was like. Then the other one did videos. He's a director, so he did N-Dubs' videos and things. I was the only one that hadn't achieved anything on my own.
So you had the most to lose.
So I had the most to lose. So now when I'm doing TED Talks and ITV and sold out shows, and it's all a dream to me. It's, like, it's all me, and it feels good, but it's just weird. It's different.
I suppose as well, like you're not kind of riding on someone else's coattails.
Yeah.
Like if anything, people are riding on yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So when's the new album dropping?
I ain't got a date yet, but I'm thinking early 2024.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nice.
Early 2024.
At the beginning of December, Christmas, see?
No, but Christmas, everything shuts down.
Yeah,
everything shuts down. So I'll be...
New Year, New You.
I'll be, New Year, New Me. I'll be back, though.
So when's your Christmas #1 coming out, then?
That battle is... that fight, that's when the Adele's and the Eds pop out. And like,
You have to do something stupid, don't you, like, to get there now?
Yeah, no.
Like that one with
the heavyweight, Mariah Carey pops out.
every year, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
to get a yearly fund.
that fight's not worth it, bro. That fight is not worth it.
Well, especially now you got Lad Bible singing about sausage rolls. You've got no chance. Like, unless you're going to sing about something really random.
That fight is not worth it. It's not. I'll settle for, I don't know, not Christmas number. I don't know.
Christmas #2, that'd do.
Yeah, Christmas top 10. I love that.
But yeah, no, it's been amazing having you on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And yeah, hopefully I'll get to the end of the book.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know, man. Let me know your thoughts.
Because it is a good read. So you can borrow it afterwards.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah. Or you can buy it off of Amazon.
That's a better option. You know, I need to.
Yeah.
Yes, it.
He's got no promo codes either. So, gonna have to pay full price.
I really don't have promo codes, don't I? Fucking hell.
Shocking.
Terrible.
Shocker from Shocking. But yeah, no, it's been amazing having you on.
Yeah,
and
appreciate
hopefully
it.
we can do some more stuff together.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Album. Album. I'll be back in this seat. You have my word. I'll be back here for the album.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Pleasure.
Perfect.
Appreciate it, guys. Cheers.